Hello, my name is Laura and I will be reviewing the 2016 Korean film Train to Busan that was directed by Yeon Sang-ho. Now this film is not your typical zombie gore fest. Train to Busan encompasses a variety of deep emotions and many of the characters develop and grow on this death train ride. All of the characters endure this terrifying zombie disease, and as a result, the audience experiences the realistic psychological turmoil and stress their characters are experiencing. The main character I'm going to examine and analyze is Mr. Seo. I will also discuss the dynamics of relationships Mr. Seo has with his daughter Soo-han and other passengers in Train to Busan. At the beginning of Train to Busan, Mr. Seo is depicted as a man in a position of power who works for a prominent company. We see Mr. Seo disregarding his employee Kim. Kim was only suggesting his opinion for the company, and immediately Mr. Seo asks if he works for the rats. This interaction shows how cold and almost heartless Mr. Seo is to people. As we progress into the film, Mr. Seo undergoes trials of hardships and begins to grow empathy for others besides himself. Part of what begins Mr. Seo's journey to empathy for others are his daughter Soo-han and the relationship he created with Sang-hwa on the train. At the train, when the first outbreak of infected people started chasing the non-infected people, Mr. Seo closed the door on Sang-hwa and his pregnant wife Sung-gyung. His reasoning was because there were other people in danger, including Mr. Seo's daughter. However, in this clip, we see that there was more than enough time for the couple to enter. Despite this act, Sang-hwa waits to close the door at the station to save Mr. Seo. Because Sang-hwa risked his life and others to save Mr. Seo, this particular incident sparked a shift in Mr. Seo's demeanor toward the situation he was in. The audience then begins to see Mr. Seo working alongside some of the characters to ensure everyone's safety rather than his own. Now I will examine Mr. Seo's relationship with his daughter. Mr. Seo is shown to be very dedicated to his work, but he is unaware of his daughter's needs. He bought a gift for Soo-han that she already had, proving his lack of knowledge and care regarding his daughter. Mr. Seo also missed Soo-han's singing performance, which deeply hurt her. As a result, Soo-han begs her dad to take her back to her mom, who lives in Busan. But when his daughter is put in dangerous circumstances once the infection is viral on the train, Mr. Seo shows his true love for his daughter and fights with his life to protect her. At the end of the film, he is fighting against the main antagonist who has finally been infected. We see Mr. Seo fighting with his life, again, to protect his daughter's life and Sang-hwa's wife. I'm going to include a big spoiler, so if you would like to watch the movie, I would stop here. In the end, Mr. Seo is victorious, but he got bit by the antagonist and now he's infected. This means that he is no longer safe around his daughter. As such, Mr. Seo tells his daughter to stay with Sang-hwa's wife, Sung-gyung. It is at this point in the film where Soo-han begs Mr. Seo to stay with her, because ultimately, he's her father, and she has seen how much he has fought for her, and she doesn't want to lose him.
아줌마 옆에 끝까지 꼭 붙어 있어야 돼. 알았지? 부산은 안전할 테니까. 그러니까.
가지 마. 가지 마. 내가 잘못했어. 가지 마. 가지 마.
Mr. Seo goes through a roller coaster of emotions and growth when this infectious zombie disease goes rampant in Korea. He starts off as a shallow man with no care except his job. But when the world is in chaos, it's like he relearned what truly matters in the end. I highly recommend Train to Busan because this film is not your typical zombie movie. Train to Busan incorporates horror, thriller, suspense, drama, and love in a brilliant way. Thank you.